So if you had, say, 5 nutrition tips, like something, 5 things that everybody out there right now could write down, listen, replay, and that would help them immediately, what would like those 5 be? Putting you on the spot here. Hey, what's going on? Welcome to Healthy Living Wichita podcast with Go Time Training. I'm your host, Raymond Elliott, lead personal trainer at Go Time Training in Northeast Wichita, Kansas. I've been in the fitness industry for over 20 years now, and I've seen it all. This podcast cuts through all the fads and gimmicks to give you a science-based truth on all things fitness and nutrition, so you don't have to try to figure it out on your own. If you want to live happier and healthier and get the scoop on how to work out, eat right, and keep a positive mindset, you're in the right place. It's go time. Now, let's get to the show. Welcome, we're at Healthy Living Wichita. I got my amazing co-host today, Jennifer Hamilton. So she is an awesome nutritionist. She's one of Go Time's nutritionists. I'll let her tell who she is a little bit better than I, but it's been awesome from when you came on here and just to see you put so much into learning about nutrition and how you've advanced, because I'd even give you a little poke on some different aspects, and you've helped so many of our clients, and you're amazing. So I just want to say that to you. So we're super happy to have you on here, because nutrition is probably the biggest topic I think there is. And so introduce yourself, and then we'll get into the podcast.
Yeah, for sure. So my name is Jennifer. I've been here at Go Time for a year now, celebrating my year anniversary in April.
Oh, wow.
And actually before this, I got my degree from Friends University in elementary education. So a little bit different than what I'm doing now. I found out while I was in schools teaching kids that it wasn't really my true passion. Yeah. So I wanted to go more with the nutrition route. I've always been an athlete growing up. I played softball for years, played volleyball, ran track. And as I got into college, I did more long distance running. I've always been into weightlifting. So definitely that's a true passion of mine. Didn't really focus on the nutrition side of things until probably 7 years ago. And I started to really study it on my own. And I found it was really fascinating. Just all the aspects of nutrition. It's amazing how much it expands your just view on things. And so I got my precision nutrition certification recently, online. So I've really been studying nutrition for a while now, and now coaching more people here at Go Time. So that's fun. I also worked in a pharmacy for 10 years as a pharmacy tech. And so really during that time, I noticed just how many medications people were relying on. And a lot of them could probably be avoided if they just focused on healthy habits and just exercising, taking care of themselves. Not every, people still need medications, right. But just definitely the amount of medications people were on could probably be avoided for the most part. So
they could have done a more holistic approach, and a lot of those things probably could have either been avoided in the beginning if they would have been nutrition, or they could have added something into that could be. That's cool. I never knew that from that perspective that you had that. So that's a pretty awesome thing to see, and it's amazing what kind of drives us and what catches our attention. So that's really cool. Nutrition is unbelievably complex. It's still, I feel like I have a pretty good grasp on nutrition, and I still question myself all the time, because you can read 92 different things. So really having a nutritionist to help you kind of muddle through all that stuff is extremely important, because it is complex. It's complex to us. We're still trying to figure out. I think that's one of the beautiful things why we like it so much, because it is, and we get to learn more and understand more. But anatomy and exercise is difficult. But really, if you're active and you move and you work out, you're going to see a lot of things. And it's not overly complex, even though everything with the human body is. But nutrition is, yeah, and that's why I got into it, because I was just holy moly, and then mixing that in with trying to get people to do it and bought into it and diet and understand those things for each person is unbelievable. So if I had a hat on, I would take it off to you. But that's awesome that you've done that and really helped people.
Yeah.
How do you feel? So you're getting into nutrition is kind of a new role for you. So this is outside kind of the podcast. But how does it feel like being able to help people in those aspects and mentor and show people and guide people through the crazy navigation of trying to lose weight and be healthier and get off medication? How's that been for you over the last year?
I definitely love it. It's definitely a passion of mine, and really to see people making progress, taking just charge of their lives. It's really amazing what they've been doing, and it's just awesome to see.
Yeah.
For sure.
Like I said, once again, nutritionists, I think that's one of the hardest jobs because personal training, people are going to come in, they see me. I know that they're working out because they're literally here. With nutrition, you're basically having to guide somebody through motivational interview, discussing, follow-ups, but a lot of it's on their own, and you're trying to help them through that. You're not sitting there eating with them. Like, I'm literally working. I know if somebody comes in, at least they're working out 2 times a week because I'm there. And I know how hard they're working because I'm pushing them. Where you have to basically help people with that. So that kind of goes into some of the things that I want to know, and I think it would really, really help the viewer. So, nutrition is difficult. So say if you had, like, I always want to do something that's applicable for everybody out there that they can take and learn. So if you had, say, 5 nutrition tips, like 5 things that everybody out there right now could write down, listen, replay, and that would help them immediately. What would those 5 be? Putting you on the spot here.
Oh, for sure. Let me go through each of them now, or we'll take one at a time.
Take one at a time. Yeah.
Okay.
You tell me if you got 5 of them, and we can keep it simple because I'm sure there's probably 30.
Yes, there's a lot.
But a lot of times when you have, there's probably 5 really good ones that is the basis, and then most people follow those ones and forget the other 25. They'd be good.
Yeah. So definitely we'll narrow it down a little bit.
Okay. So
so the first one would have to be just very basic. Set goals for yourself and know your why. Know exactly what you want to do with your nutrition, and even put a time frame on it. Of course, it's going to take more time than you think. It's not going to be a quick fix, and a lot of people will go on diets after diet and expecting a quick result, but it does take time, and it's really about transforming your lifestyle and really just changing your habits. So really set your goals first. It could be to lose weight, to gain muscle, just gain more energy, sleep better. I mean, it all ties in together. So things like that.
Get off medications.
Yeah, get off medications. Exactly. And then just know why you're doing it. So why do you want to transform your habits? Is it to keep up with your kids or your grandkids? Is it to just feel better overall, fit into those pants or that dress that you've been wanting to wear again? Just things like that, and just have more energy. So definitely know those things before you get started.
Yeah, I think a lot of times, even ourselves, because we don't interpersonalize, sometimes we want to lose weight because we want to look better, and it's a cosmetic goal. But even sometimes we don't really dig into ourselves and really know what's going on, like what's the real reason. Like you said, there's lots of them. So I think sometimes even getting to yourself and writing those down or having somebody to help you find those have a lot more impact. Wanting to lose 20 pounds so you look better in a bathing suit is a lot different than wanting to lose 20 pounds so you feel more confident so you can get back out there in the dating scene, or that you feel good at your daughter's wedding, or you can run around with your children and feel healthy, or go to the pool. It's a lot different than just, I want to look better, for this aspect. So there's a lot, and if you tie in health, that's even a huge impact, right?
Exactly.
So, okay, so good. So that's one. We got a few more. Number 2, what do you got for number 2?
Number 2 is to track your calories and just watch your portions. If you don't want to be so specific as to, counting everything that you eat with calories, that's fine. Just make sure you're watching your portions, because portion sizes these days are very large. So make sure you're very aware of what you're consuming. Here at Go Time, we like to use MyFitnessPal as an app to really set people's calories, so they really are just aware of what they're eating and how much. And that's really just being conscious of what they're doing. And that's the main reason for tracking. And then if you don't want to use an app, if you're not tech savvy, that's fine.
Old journal.
You can write it down. That's fine.
We just have to just write things down and use math.
You can also use your hand as a portion guide. A lot of people just kind of use that as a visual cue. Yeah, I can explain it. It's kind of different.
So for those watching on YouTube, you can see this. For you on iPhones, you'll have to listen in really quick.
Yeah. So if you look at the size of your palm, that's usually a serving of protein. So if you think about that, that's just kind of your just visual cue to see how much protein you need for a serving. And then if you do a fist, put your hand in a fist, that is a serving of veggies. So you can kind of use that as a guide. And then if you use a cupped handful, that's your portion for carbs.
Okay.
And
rice
then for
fruits or
starches,
things
like that. Okay. And then your thumb could be serving for fats.
Okay.
So if you're at a gathering or at a restaurant, you can kind of use that as a guide, if you don't have your phone handy or something like that.
Which part of my hand is serving for cake?
Probably half this.
My pinkies
Your
are
pinky.
serving.
No, you can still have cake. But
you can? Okay,
yes,
good.
as long as you keep track of it.
And I think that's the beautiful thing about tracking. It changes word of view. You said earlier that it's going to take a long time, and I think there's two aspects to that. There's a long time for maybe your goal, or longer time. It might take you a while to get to your goal, but I think there's a long time where you actually have to learn. I've been dieting for a long aspect off and on, and it's taken me a long time just to learn what works for me. It's a transition.
Oh yeah.
And that's, I think, that aspect. I think people just want to do this certain thing, but it's really learn yourself so you can sustain. I think that's the beautiful thing about tracking is, like you said, it's not that I just have to track calories and everybody has different mindset on like, is calories really calories in versus calories out really true, and there's not really accurate because of data, but it's really just learning what you put in your mouth and starting to realize how much calories something has is not, and then you can start to make those decisions and you can make trade-off. You're like, okay, this cake is 700 calories. I have 400 calories left.
Yes.
Do I want to make that decision?
Do I want to make that decision? Yeah.
Or, hey, instead of having my, extra butter on my toast, I'm going to add a little bit more calories so I can have that cake later on.
Exactly.
And you can start to learn and barter. And when you empower yourself to make your own decisions versus rules, then you're a lot better. Restrictions, you're a lot better at making those. So that's probably the biggest part, I think, the tracking that sometimes people forget. It is learning yourself and learning a lot about nutrition and what works for you. Meal timing, what do you want to eat.
And everybody's different too. Every body type is different. So it's not, one calorie size fits all. Everybody's going to have different calories that they need for their bodies and for energy. So definitely just learning what fits your body type.
Yeah, I almost got in an argument with somebody on Facebook the other day. I say almost because I'm too lazy to get into those things. I used to all the time through nutrition, and I never get in arguments because I just want to be antagonistic. I really, because I care and want to help people, and sometimes what people push, I feel like actually is a negative because of novelties, and we've seen that with when people try to eat more clean. Sometimes they end up having more eating disorders and binging. So I want to do what is going to help people the most.
Yeah.
But she didn't believe in calories out just because, she feels like that promotes eating unnutritious food and micronutrients have importance, and that's not really what it's about. Just because you're tracking calories doesn't mean you can't eat healthy. You can track calories. You can track calories doing keto. You can track calories doing paleo. You can track calories doing whatever vegan. You can do it
whatever
in
you decide
every
to
aspect.
stick to.
Yeah. So it doesn't mean you have to eat unhealthy. And I think most flexible dieting content out there basically says that, like, eat healthy most of the time, but it's more like if you want to fit something in there, you have those calories, you can learn to budget, right?
Exactly.
Cool. Yep. So we got number 2, tracking calories. Yep. I know we can do this all day, so I'll try not to. Told you I'll talk too much. I'm trying not to, viewers. This is all Jennifer's time. She's the guru here. So number 3, right?
Yes, number 3.
It's my radio voice.
Yeah, it's nice.
It's
like
not
it.
It's not very good at all. But go ahead.
So it kind of correlates with number 2, but just be aware of your macros. So those macronutrients that make up every single food. So you've got your 3 basic macros. You've got your carbohydrates, you've got your protein, and your fats, of course. There's a 4th macronutrient. We're not going to go into that because it's alcohol, and
we'll save that for a different podcast.
Not necessary. So
hold it. Okay, yeah, not necessary.
You can still fit it in, but in moderation. But definitely just being aware of that, because that controls your energy levels, your muscle, building your muscle, especially when you're working out. It's really important that you get your energy source in there, that your body doesn't start to break down your muscles to give you energy. So you definitely want to make sure that you're eating enough of those 3 macronutrients throughout the day. Make sure each meal and each snack has a balance of all 3, and just make sure that you're satisfied with each meal so you're not going to overeat later in the day. So, yeah.
And I think, so, once again, kind of individualizing. Some people feel like, a lot of people demonize carbs, and carbs are not bad, and there's multiple studies that show that moderate carbohydrate diets show as good as low carb diets, and sometimes even better in some aspects. So we won't get in that whole debate because we don't want. Actually, maybe we do. Let's get in that debate so we get a lot more content.
We might be here all day.
Carbs are amazing. Well, I'm just saying for the viewers out there, maybe we can get some bad comments on there. Carbs are evil and they'll kill you. But no, carbs are not
they're not evil.
Not bad, right? Yeah. And so those are good. And once again, you can kind of learn, maybe fat does help keep you more satiated, and maybe you feel better eating higher fat, or maybe you get more energy when you eat carbs, and those are great for you. I know protein's important. I don't know if this is that one of your your four.
Oh, no, it's part of the macronutrients. So
okay, yeah.
It's part of this one, yeah.
But I know that's one of the most important when they've looked at like ketogenic diets and other diets when they actually considered protein a part, because when they first did ketogenic studies, it showed that it had a lot more weight loss, but they were never looking at the protein content. And so when they actually looked at moderate carbohydrate diets with the same protein and actually equated for calories and protein, they saw really pretty similar results. I mean, a little bit difference because of water weight and all that good jazz. But so protein is a huge part of it because like thermic effect of food and other
you
aspects.
actually burn more calories consuming protein. Yeah.
Okay. Is there any other benefits to like protein as a good macronutrient? I know that we have to have it for survival.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it pretty much runs everything in our bodies. Definitely, it builds everything up. You definitely, those muscles, you want those to be built up. So, and gives us energy. It's just really, really important to make sure that is at a higher level.
But carbs and fats are important too.
Yes.
Cool.
All right.
So we got number 4 coming up.
Number 4 is the next one. Yep.
Yep, because that comes after 3.
After 3, yeah.
I'm doing good.
You're
I'm
awesome.
so good at this.
But number 4 is really just to meal prep and plan your meals ahead of time. So you're not grabbing foods on the go and maybe not choosing the best options for your meals. So making
like
sure
5
that
outright bars. Like
probably not too many snacks like that. But just definitely making sure that your meals are planned out. And they don't have to be difficult. Like maybe choose a time on the weekend when you have about an hour to plan your meals and make them, and just have them for the whole week. So you can freeze some, you can put some in the fridge. Just make sure that you're prepared. And the crock pot, Instapot, air fryer, make those your friends, because you can do a lot of foods in bulk in those things. And so you can have them for the whole week. And just make sure like you can make a bunch of meat and have some kind of veggie source and some rice made, and just have that for meals throughout the week. So you're not going to grab stuff on the go that might not be the best.
That's probably why I struggle out the most, and I was really good at that when I did more contest prep, and definitely paid dividends. You don't have to worry about searching for something. You have something there. It's a lot easier to manage and have.
Yes.
And I probably eat like a college kid, even though I'm 40. So I'm not the best cook in the world. So I see you guys as amazing recipes. I'm like, that's awesome. But if it has like more than like 3 ingredients, I'm like, I'm out.
Oh yeah, but basic is good. Yeah.
So you guys do a great job. But there's a lot of cool like microwavable stuff, like in frozen vegetables are good. You can get like microwave brown rice. Because like I said, that's me.
That's what I do too.
My meal planning is like things that are easily done. Fajita chicken. So you can do things like that, or you can follow your guys' awesome list and make some of those great things throughout the week.
The recipes, for sure.
Yep. I used to do crock pots too. I used to just throw a whole bag of chicken in there.
Yeah, and that's all you really have to do is some seasonings and broth or something like that, and then you're good to go for a while.
Where can we find some good ingredients or good meals, more good recipes?
Good recipes? I mean, through our resource.
Trying to do a selfless plug here. But there's lots of good places.
But yeah, definitely. Of course, the internet has all kinds of great options, and Pinterest too. So
sweet.
Yeah,
I'm on Pinterest, so add me. Okay, that was is that number 4?
That was number 4.
Okay, I'm saying, and so 5 would be next. I got it.
Yeah, so 5 is to eat smart at restaurants. So you can still eat out, of course.
Nice.
We recommend that you do most of your meals if you can at home, but you can enjoy restaurants still, but just make sure you're eating smart, because restaurants can get you in trouble with portion sizes, with all the additives that they put on foods. So just make sure that you're really thinking about what you're eating. Maybe plan ahead of time what you're going to order. So when you get to the restaurant, you're not trying to figure out what you want to get, and then you might choose for a less healthy option. Definitely watch, any kinds of sauces or dressings. Make sure that you're just watching those, and you can ask for dressings and sauces on the side. They're not going to hate you for asking that. And so just make sure things are really basic. And then look for, I guess, keywords on the menus too. So if it says like fried, of course, you probably don't want to do much of that. Sauteed, if it says that, that's usually they add a lot of extra oils and butters. Right. So just look for those keywords. You want to stick more with like steamed or grilled for your keywords.
I thought about that. That's cool. Yeah. Excellent. Yeah, because oil, like fried oil, is your highest macrodense food on the planet. There's nothing that has more calories per ounce or weight than oil. So anything fried is just kind of fat dense. Jack it up. Yeah. So yeah, and it's amazing when I go to restaurants. I think I just kind of posted this the other day. Like I was saying, like we suck at like estimating calories. Like go to a restaurant and pick a salad. Like I don't understand why the calories at a restaurant salad is 1,100, but the one I make at home is 300. And I swear they're pretty similar ingredients.
Yeah.
But it's amazing how much. Like I swear I think they just like find calories and throw it on there. Like
and they guesstimate, I guess, on the.
I don't know what they do, but they're always so much higher. The same foods that you can get at a restaurant always seem to be double or triple as high. And it's been amazing over years getting more into calories in, calories out, and people put their calories on there. I'm like, gosh, every meal is like 900, 1,200.
Yeah, it's pretty much most of your day is gone.
Yeah, it's crazy out there. So, but you still can do it.
Yeah,
you can manage those, and like I think you said a really good point. Like look ahead, and that's where MyFitnessPal can be a really great tool because you can plug that in there
ahead of time is perfect,
and that will help you stay well.
Stay
within your calories or maintain. And I always find like a good thing for me is like all else fails, always do a lean meat and a vegetable. So whatever that is at a restaurant, if it's chicken and broccoli or steak and sweet potato, they still might load tons of stuff on there that you can ask for off, but you're always going to benefit somewhat from that.
Yeah, and don't be afraid to ask for substitutions. Ask them to leave things off. They are usually pretty good about, accommodating that. So
lots of seasoning, lots of butters, lots of sauces, and that's probably where in those salads you probably see a lot
usually
of that.
Dressings add that up, increase the calories.
Yeah, and you get like a steak or chicken, you're like, oh, this is pretty lean. It's meat, but you don't realize that they put tons of sauces or butters on those that add a lot to it.
Yeah,
so.
That's true.
Cool. So go back through them. So the viewers can have. So get your pen and paper out there if you're writing these down.
I love lists. So definitely make your list. It's perfect.
So we got 5 of them, and if you don't mind, kind of running back through them, summarizing all of them for everybody, and that way they can take away with these.
Yeah. So the first one was to set goals and know your why. Why you're wanting to focus on your nutrition. The second one is to track calories and be aware of your portion sizes. Number 3 is beware of your macronutrients. Make sure you're getting balanced of carbs, protein, and fats at each meal.
Perfect.
The fourth one, ready for the fourth one, is to meal prep and just plan your meals ahead so you're not going to grab less healthy options on the go. And then number 5 was to eat smart at restaurants and just be aware of what you're ordering while you're out.
Yeah, because it seems like a lot of people can do very, very well, and then they go out to restaurants or have a couple of those, and you can really, it's amazing how many calories you can add in on those.
Yeah, you can probably ruin your day.
Yeah.
So we don't want that.
Yes. So I think that's awesome. Those are really, really great tips. And like I said, sometimes people focus on so many different avenues, and there's so many nuances to nutrition. Like the saying, they miss the forest for the trees. That really, if you just focus on those 5 things, basics, you're going to be very, very successful, and you don't need to worry about every other little nutritional aspects. There's moral things, and if you want to be more healthier, but when it actually comes to actual weight loss, those are the big things, which a lot of times will have the greatest benefit to human health than anything else. So
just pick something you can do for the long term. We definitely don't want you to start something and give up on it just because it's not accommodating your lifestyle. It's not easy to follow. So just make sure that you're able to sustain what you've decided to do, and you can do it for the long term.
Yeah, I think that was my biggest realization, and I give an open apology to all my clients back in the day. If you're listening to this a while, is because I was so dead on clean eating. Bread was the enemy, sugar was the enemy, and I try to set people up on these really unrealistic diet plans. And I would see them later in life, and they would put all that weight that they gained, and so that broke my heart because I didn't help them with something sustainable, something long term.
Yeah.
And so I did them a disservice and regret it. And so really dived in and tried to figure out some more stuff. So yes, there's always ways that you can be healthier, but no diet works unless it's sustainable. That's the number one thing, caloric deficit, but something that is sustainable, consistent, because if not.
Yeah. And then you want to enjoy it as well. Just make sure you're enjoying the process
enjoying
too.
things is good.
Yeah.
Probably. That makes it more sustainable, right?
Doing exactly. Something you hate. Because you love doing it. So
and easy too. Sometimes people pick really diet plans that are very, very difficult.
Yeah.
And so, diets already suck. They're already hard to do. They're already kind of against us.
And we don't like the word diets.
Yeah, right.
Right.
Right, yeah. Sorry. Eating a lifestyle.
A lifestyle.
Already sucks. Eating less calories than what you burn or trying to lose weight is already hard because you're already having to make choices, and you're kind of going against your own body's, it doesn't want to eat less calories because of the survival rate. So they already are difficult. Try not to add too much more difficulty on that because, I don't know, it's always harder to do things that are difficult, right? It's easier to do things that are easy.
Yeah, I think so. Exactly.
Yeah. Cool. Excellent. Well, thank you so much. Do you have anything else you want to say to our lovely beautiful Wichitans out there in Wichita land?
Not really. Just be very mindful of what you're eating and just make sure that it's enjoyable for you. Don't restrict your calories a ton. We don't want to see under 1,000 calories because that's just not realistic. And you really want to have energy still to make it through the day. So definitely food is fuel. So make sure that you're fueling your body with the right kinds of nutrients and enough calories. So
part of that calories in part is also a calories out part. So if you're not expending calories because you're eating so little, that can affect you too. And then you're just spinning your wheels, which then definitely sucks.
And then, you're going to have a burnout
eventually.
Yeah. So
spinning wheels. I like that.
Exactly.
Okay. So anyways, if you guys have any questions or comments, I'm sure Jen will get on here and she'll watch her lovely self on video and all that stuff. So I always suggest writing those in there, asking questions. I'm sure you'd be more than happy to answer some of those. You love doing this.
I could talk all day about this. So that's fine.
We still got more now. So if you guys have questions over the 5 lists you gave me, which I think is so important and impactful, that's amazing. That's a great tidbit. I think if you guys follow those, you'll be super happy. But there's always going to be nuances and difficulties through those. So if you have questions when you're going through this stuff, how to do it better, how to meal prep, all those different things, please ask. That's what this whole thing is for. Why we're so thankful to have you on here is really just to be able to impact and help with Wichita. And that's why it's called Healthy Living Wichita, because that's what we want to do is impact our community.
Exactly.
Thank you so much, Jen.
You're welcome.
I appreciate
Thank you.
It's been awesome.
It's been fun.
And now back to work.
Yep, back to work.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for listening to the Healthy Living Wichita podcast with Go Time Training. If you enjoyed today's show and want to get started with your own fitness journey, I'd love to help kickstart your goals. How do 4 60-minute personal training sessions for $99 with me sound? Head over to www.gotimetraining.com/podcast to claim yours. I can't wait to meet you.